Brook General Hospital. And after, when I went, I didn't see Charlotte anymore. I cut it off. 'Cause hell, I had school ahead of me. I didn't know where I was going to be. No need to get serious.
Yeah.
Maddie kept coming back. Then I said goodbye to Maddie when I went home.
The when you left Laredo, is that when they crewed you up?
I left Laredo. I was on my way to Westover Field, combat crew training. And I had a 15-day delay en route. So I stopped over in St. Louis, saw my brother Milton for 2 days, then I continued on to Westover.
Didn't you have an aunt or something like that, or a cousin in Linden?
Yeah, Aunt Ollie.
That's it.
She was a sweet lady, German lady. She was cute. A lot of laughs. Funny, funny, funny.
Well, she was in the service too, wasn't she?
No. She married my uncle George, Papa George.
Hmm.
And they didn't have any kids.
Yeah. So you moved. So they moved you by train again.
Yeah.
To Westover. So you got to see your dad again.
Yeah, I had a couple of days at home.
Had things changed when you got home because of everybody at the?
Well, nobody there.
Yeah.
They're all gone. Their service.
Yeah.
Nobody there. Coffee house was empty. And I spent a few days with my father, my sister, my aunts, cousins. And then I went over to Westover and we started combat crew training.
Now, did they put you into assign you to a pilot and a crew?
Eventually, yeah.
No, not immediately though.
Well, immediately what they did, we're all in a group and they called your names and they make a crew right there. And that's where we're assigned to Harold S. Patterson, Lieutenant, his crew. And they had Harold S. Patterson, pilot, Tom Thurman, co-pilot, Bert Schilling, navigator, and I forget the kid's name, Thomas. He comes from Back Bay. He only talked to the cabins and the lodges. He was way up there. He had his nose in the air.
What would he do on the plane?
He was a bombardier. Well, we lost him right away because he went on to radar school. And we didn't get a bombardier till we got overseas. And then we had really a flight engineer, Carrington, radio, and the gunners.
Now your Carrington, he was a gunner?
Yeah, he was a radio operator.
What about D.P. Rodriguez?
Tail gunner.
J.L. Balzer?
Ball gunner.
W.E. O'Laughlin?
Left waist gunner.
Okay. How about a G.W.
Really.
Really?
Flight engineer.
Okay.
Top turret gunner.
Turret gunner. So I think that's got it. Were any from Massachusetts?
Yeah. Lynn, Mass. Where I born and raised, where I grew up.
I mean, any of the other fellows from Massachusetts, other than you?
No. Yeah. Carrington, Connecticut. Waterbury, Connecticut. Really, Philadelphia. O'Laughlin, Monticello, Illinois. Balzer, Portland, Oregon. Rodriguez, Taos, New Mexico. Co-pilot Thurman, Crossville, Tennessee, where Sergeant York came from.
So you were from everywhere in the U.S.
We were from everywhere. And it's amazing the way the Army makes a crew. Man, we work like a machine. Once you're in that plane, everyone is equal. You depend on the other guy for your survival. That's the way it was.
Did the crew get along together?
Oh yeah, we were very close. The whole crew was well knitted.
Now, was there in the plane? There's not a visible separation of rank, is there?
Nothing. Once you're in the air, hello Harry, how are you? You know, that's the way it was. But on the ground it's different.
Was he a pretty good pilot?
Damn good, tremendous. He was like my big brother. He was the oldest flying combat flyer in my squadron. He was 28 years old. He just made cadets on the age limit. My big brother. Our group commander, Leroy Stefanovich, 28 years old, we called him the old man.
You know that when you get up there in the sky, though, you know you might be 23 or 24, but you age pretty quickly, don't you?
Yeah, overnight. All it takes is one.
Yeah.
My first mission was a milk run. No flak, no fighters, just bad weather. My second one was a bitch. I went to Vienna. And that's where I was baptized.
Vienna was one of the most heavily guarded targets in
It was
Europe.
the most guarded target in Europe. Vienna was the adopted city of Hitler. He built 6 flak towers there. No other city had 6 flak towers.
You were usually after marshalling yards, weren't you?
Marshalling and oil, petrochemical, everything.
Yeah.
Like in the Silesia area, they would make petrol out of synthetic gas.
Yeah.
Black Hammer
Yeah.
was a bitch. Moose Beer Bomb, another bitch. Brox, by the Czech border, oil, refineries. In Poland, petrochemical plant. Just outskirts of Auschwitz. And we bombed the synthetic rubber plant there. We lost 3 out of 7 in our flight. Real bad. Oil was our main target.
When did you find out what group you were going to be assigned to?
When I got there,
So what was your route from...
it was Naples, then San Pancrazio.
how about from the States? We start from Westover.
State was Grenier Field, New Hampshire. Gander, Newfoundland. The Azores in the Atlantic.
That's a long flight.
Oh yeah, at night, all night.
That's when you're hoping your navigator's right.
Oh, he was great because he went to school in Florida and was flying over water all the time. And he was shooting the stars and all that. I was up with him all night. Hit it right on the butt. ETA, perfect.
How do you use the rest?
You know, we lost over 1,000 crews when they were going through the Azores. Yeah. It's just a dot in the Atlantic. And then from there you went to Marrakesh, Morocco. Then from Morocco you went to Tunis, Tunisia. And then from there you went to Naples, Italy. Then San Pancrazio, Gioia Tancredi, where they took our ship away from us.
Where was this?
Gioia, G-O-I-A, then D-E-L, then C-O-L-I. And then from there we went to 451st Bomb Group, 726 Squadron. That's when I found out I was in the 15th Air Force.
So on the way over there, on the flight over there, sometimes the German subs were out there, but it may have been too late, and they would try to misdirect you with signals. That
never happened to us. Yeah. If you're on radio following a beam, that could happen.
Yeah.
No, our navigator was doing all the routing.
You left during the summer though, didn't you? Like July or August?
No. I left in October.
Have any trouble getting through Nova Scotia and in that area?
No.
Time
Gander's the biggest air base in the world. 3 B-24s can take off at one time. That's how wide that airstrip was. I like Gander because I bought a fifth Canadian Club whiskey there.
I didn't think you drank.
I didn't. I was street smart. I was using it. Barter. You know? Mm-hmm. And I used it when I got overseas. That's how I got everything.
Well, you know, if you didn't smoke, you could also barter your cigarettes.
Yeah, cigarettes, everything, candy.
Mm-hmm. So did you ever think you were going to reach the Azores?
Did I think what?
The Azores Island, the Azores
I
Island.
bought a fifth of champagne.
Because that's a little dot in the sea, isn't it?
Yeah, that's all it is. A little island.
But it's a strange landing.
Oh yeah, it's Portuguese.
Yeah, you go downhill, or you land either go downhill or you go uphill. I mean, it's not a flat landing strip, is it?
It was.
Was it?
Flat, just a flat strip. And then everything else around it.
So how do you use the restroom and stuff like that when you're up in the sky?
We used to have this tubes, one in the nose and one in the waist. And if the tail gunner's in his tail, we tell him, turn your turret all the way to the left and all the way to the right. Otherwise, you're going to get a shower. And that was the hazard of a tail turret gunner.
So that flight all the way over there, that was all at night?
No, just the Azore flight was at night.
Yeah.
Everything else was day.
Do you fly alone or were you with a pack?
No, just single.
Yeah.
There were 3 aircraft in our flight. Took off separately. And went separately to Italy. In the first month of combat, 2 of those aircraft were shot down. Boom. So, new replacement crews.
Did you stay overnight or when you landed at the Azores?
Yeah.
Did you have to stay?
One day.
Did you have to stay with the plane or did they bunk you?
No, I stay with the plane. We all stay with our plane. We don't want anybody on that plane.
The Norden bomb site was still being protected then, wasn't it?
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. Well protected.
Yeah. Now you were assigned as a nose gunner.
Yeah.
How did you get your pick?
I just told him I'm going to be the nose gunner. That was it. No arguments.
You told that to the pilot then?
I told pilot, whole crew. Everybody was there. You know, we're flying around, jockeying around, and doing different missions, navigation, whatever. I said, I'll be the nose gunner.
You didn't want to be the ball turret gunner?
No. No. No way. Bad. I had long legs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bad. They were rubbing my ears.
So which type model did you fly, the B-24? What type model did you fly?
We had a B-24J. And when I got overseas, I flew G's, H's, J's, L's, and M's.
Which one did you like the most?
The J.
Now, was that a chin turret, wasn't it?
No.
Was it?
Chin turret's B-17.
Okay.
You got a Emerson nose turret. Had a well, everything. Bombardiers below you, below the well. Navigators behind you.
So
3 of us were in the nose.
So you get a view of everything up front.
Everything. Whether you like it or not. You're going to see it.
So when you landed in North Africa at Marrakesh,
Yeah.
you also had to stay with the plane, didn't you?
Yeah.
I think theft was notorious in part of that country.
Yeah, we stayed always with the aircraft.
You'd sleep in the aircraft.
We would take turns if we wanted 4 hours on, 4 hours off. And we had our 45s, and we'd stay with the craft. We had our food in there, K rations, about 8 or 10 cases. Canned juices, orange, grapefruit, tomato. The officers took all that. But we had about 8 cases of K rations in our tent, so we never went hungry.
Did you run into any sandstorms in Africa?
No, only after I came home and I went to Africa working for the oil companies. Ghiblis,
Yeah.
shamal.
Yeah.
In Saudi Arabia they call it shamal. Libya they call it ghibli. Sandstorms, bad. Oh God.
Yeah.
Can't see 10 feet in front of you.
Now, so when you got to your base, was there any time at all on the flight you lost an engine or had any malfunctions?
The only time they're doing is spinning our compass, checking our compass. That was a good airfield, and checking it again at Gander. After that, everything was clear. And then we lost the ship at Joya. We were like kids losing a ball game. Man, were we pissed. All crying, and our plane, we already had named it Pat's Wagon.
How did you come up with that name?
Well, I think we all loved Patterson, and we named it after him. And we drew a girl sitting on a bomb. Bomb is on a red wagon. You know the red wagons?
Mm-hmm.
That was it.
Who came up with, who decided? I mean, the pilot didn't do it.
I made the sketch. And that was it. Pat's Wagon.
Did they have a combat artist, who painted the thing, the nose, art?
I had a lot of that. All kinds.
Did you paint any of them?
No.
Draw any of them?
No, usually the ground crews would do the painting.
Yeah.
Because if there's a ship on the ground, it's their ship.
Mm-hmm.
We had nothing to do with it, only when we're in the air. When on the ground, it's a ground crew ship. In the air, it's an air crew ship.
How long did your trip take? From Wendover, or we'll say from
Grenier?
Westover to we'll say Grenier to
Castelluccio,
yes.
18 days. Because you stop, refuel, check, spend a day here, spend a day there. 18 days. And 18 days going back home on a Liberty ship.
You'd probably rather fly than
I would have,
yeah.
but I didn't have a choice.
So when you get to the base at the 451st, that's when they break the crew up. They break the crew up for these purposes only. Officers over here, enlisted.
Always segregation.
Yeah.
Always on the ground, segregation.
So was the base a primitive looking base, or was it a fairly modern?
We're on a plateau in the middle of a wheat field. And there wasn't even a bush growing on that plateau, never mind a tree. Nothing. And when it rained, you had mud up to your ankles. You take a step, you pull your foot up, your boot would be in the mud and your foot would be out of it. It's just suck it. So the best thing, just stay in your tent.
Did you have floors in the tent?
No.
There were dirt
Our
floors?
tent had the good earth.
So how do you keep
It got real hard after a while.
Yeah.
It got like a rock.
But how do you keep the water and everything else out? Did you dig trenches around it, or?
We had split trench around our tent, and that was our bomb shelter.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we had. Yeah. And of course we built around the tent so no water goes in the tent, no rain. Everything washes down into the split trench hole down the yard. And there was no concrete walks, nothing like that. The 8th Air Force had it all. They had the language, the pubs, you name it, they had it. The 15th was out in the middle of nowhere, out in the middle of wheat fields. Southern Italy's all wheat field, agriculture.
Was there even a town or village nearby?
there was a village. Castelluccia was about 500 or 600 people. Forges, about 21 kilometers, had about 30,000. But it was all bombed out. See? And other, like Sherignola was pretty good. And the boys there had some trees. And some of the boys had wooden floors in the tent. Because they inherited it. We didn't. Everything was raw. We got there, they issue us a tent, a cot, mattress cover, 2 blankets, and a steel helmet. And they say, go pitch a tent in the enlisted men's area. That's it.
What'd you have for warmth?
Well, the winter's coming on, we had to have a stove. We didn't have a stove. Had to have one built. We had to have a door for our tent. The canvas doors were just flying with the wind. And I couldn't sleep on a cot. No way. I had a bunk made for me. You know, with my booze, whiskey and stuff. And old Thirsty was the guy that did it all. He was in the 60th Service Squadron. He built our door, he built our stove, and he built me a bunk. I said, Thirsty, where's my springs? No springs, Greek. Couldn't get any. So I had wooden slats from frag bomb boxes. That was my bed. I would lay a canvas from the cot over that, then I'd lay up one blanket folded in half on top of that, a little soft. Then I'd put my sleeping bag, you know, like a mummy bag, not like the big bags they have today, just a tight bag. Laid that down, and I laid my mattress cover on top of that. I'd slide into the mattress cover, those were my sheets. And another blanket on top. That was it.
Now that wasn't a down bag, that was like a cotton bag or something.
Yeah, it was cotton.
So they're not...
But it could fit a mattress in it. But we had no mattresses.
Well, they're not
The ground crews had the mattresses.
So you had to sleep in your clothes most of the time to keep warm, didn't you?
No. I stripped down to my t-shirt, shorts, all the time. But see, that tent would be warmed up by that stove that Thirsty built. It worked beautifully. And we had 2 jerry cans against it. That was our hot water. And the steel helmet was our lavatory. We washed. We took sponge baths.
They didn't have showers.
No showers, no electricity, no running water. And it had a latrine about 60 yards away. And that latrine, we had 2 barrels cut in half and a toilet seat screwed to the top of the barrel, half barrel. And a hole about 10 feet deep. That was it. And the sides, screened. So you're out there in the open in the winter. Then when you get to the latrine, you hope somebody already sat there, which doesn't want.
So you had lighting though at night, didn't you? Like a lamp or something?
We had candle or a flashlight. That was it.
Did you have a young kid from the area take care of your boots and clean the tent?
Oh no. We did all that, except Al, the real would come in and sweep up and make up our bunks, our beds. He was there all the time, good boy.
You ever keep up with him after the war?
Yeah, then he passed away. Rather young, in his 50s.
When you got to the base, they were flying missions.
Yeah.
Did you get to watch any of the missions come in? You know, get a little bit acclimated to the excitement of these.
No. We stayed in our tent with our crew. We didn't go meandering. Only when we first 2 days when we got there, want to know who had what and where the hell they got it, so we could get something. That was it.
But
then we go to group briefing and take the photographs. That's the only time I went to group. Well, get the medals.
But they were flying missions, landing and taking off while you were there.
Yeah.
Were there any wrecks or accidents while you
Yeah,
were
they had one come in for a crash landing. Not too good. B-24s don't take a crash landing too good.
Well, they're,
17 does.
they're shooting flares out the windows, are they not? If they have wounded
No,
on
we
board.
shot a red flare telling the crews below that we have wounded and we were shot up real bad. That's real bad.
So they'd have jeeps and ambulances.
Waiting. Fire truck waiting. And they'd have a tractor tow your plane away.
Now, when you started going to, when you started going to the meetings, were you included in on the meetings where you were flying?
Only on the first 2 or 3 missions. After that, the enlisted men were briefed in the squadron headquarters. We had maps and they'd brief us where we're going. They'd have the string on the map where we're going.
Well, you quickly learned which missions were dangerous and which ones might be okay.
Yeah.
I mean, without flying them, you gossiped.
Yeah, you had some history behind you then. Yeah. 5 or 6 or even 13 missions. You knew what the good ones were and where the bad ones were.
Now, do you remember, when they bring you in, that means you are a replacement.
Yeah, we are. The whole crew's replaced. Another crew.
So, you know if that crew was shot down or they rotated back?
The crew I flew with on my first mission, the nose gunner just completed his tour. And it was Captain Ramsdell's crew. They all were in their 30s missions. And the nose gunner just completed. And I flew his position that particular day.
Where'd you go?
We went to Sarajevo, Yugoslavia, troop concentration at a marshalling yard. Milk run. Because I believe, this is my belief, General Bull, what the hell was his name? Wing commander. He used to be one of the commanders at the 451st. Then he went to Wing. And he was flying that mission. I think the reason it was Sarajevo, because he was flying it.
Oh.
That's my own gut feeling. It was no Vienna.
Yeah. Huh. So, and usually, typically, your pilot flies as a co-pilot with another pilot on his first mission.
Yes. Everybody flies with a different crew in their positions.
And then the second mission, you're all together.
Yes, sir.
And that was
Vienna. That was a bitch. I was flying all of a sudden, whop, I got hit in the chin. Flak hit my oxygen mask. My head snapped back. I hit the back of the turret, and I thought a 16-pound sledgehammer hit me. And I hit the button, and I said, I'm hit. And Pat says, get Kozakis out of his turret, get him. And I still got my hand on the button. I'm okay. You know, I come out of it. I'm okay. Because it cut the mask, but it didn't hit me, cut my chin. Just bang. And they put me back in there, close the doors. I'm all right. And of course, hell breaks loose. Flak everywhere. That's chopping the hell out of us. Watching planes going down, chopped up. Nothing I could do.
That's one of the. You're
That was my
supposed
second
to.
mission.
You're supposed to look for planes, or parachutes, aren't you?
Yeah, you're looking for tail markings or cowling markings. They have different colors. Tail markings tell you what group going down. And I flew 5 consecutive missions that month. We went Sarajevo, Vienna, Munich. Then from Munich, Blackhammer, Aviano Air Base, Northern Italy. It's Aviano Air Base today. Then